ATI Mysore, can we have an audio check? Am I audible? Yashada Pune, am I audible?
Support and guidance in NAKSHA initiative. They will be joining us shortly through VC for the inauguration session. I would like to place on record my deep appreciation to Maxipa team for successfully conducting the first batch of NAKSHA training program, which was held from 2nd June to 7th of June 2025. It also gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the
Hello. Hello. Hi, Suman.
यस सर बोलिए.
Hello.
यस सर बोलिए.
Hello, audible?
Hello.
यस सर बोलिए.
Yeah, mic testing.
यस सर बोलिए सर.
Audible, sir? From
यस
area?
यू आर ऑडिबल सर.
Yeah,
ऑडिबल
thank you.
सर.
Thank you, thank you.
यशदा पुणे. एम आई ऑडिबल? यशदा पुणे.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
ओके थैंक यू.
ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
So good morning, everybody, and I hope everybody has joined and all the Center of Excellence is online. And thanks for joining this session. Thanks to the Center of Excellence for organizing this for us, and to all the participants who are participating in this training program. So as you must be aware, or you must have been told, I know a lot of you are coming for the first time to a training session on NAKSHA. But just to give a brief idea about what this training program is and how we are trying to do training program at the Government of India level and what we expect from you. I'll also make a presentation thereafter. So the idea is that this is a new program and it is about creation of urban land records. So that is the first thing. It is only a pilot program. It is not a full-fledged program. We are writing a full-fledged full-fledged program along with this experiences that we are getting from the pilot. So the cities that you are representing or the states which you have come from are participating states. I know all the 30 states would be present today at the four Center of Excellence, except the LVSNA Center, which has UP, Bihar, etc., West Bengal, Jharkhand, which will be taking next week. But all the other four Center of Excellences are present today. So this is a program to create urban land records, and this is a new program. World over, all these cities in the world have urban land records, which is merged with their postal address system, which is also merged with their property taxation systems, registration systems, and all the other government utilities and services, including electricity and water, etc. But we are starting small. We don't want to do the whole thing at one time, although the idea is the same, that we'll have one basic layer of truth about land and everything above that land. So land is an integral factor of any dimension that we have. So we want to create a layer for the land and then bring everything on that. That's the idea. Borrowing from a lot of developed country and developing countries. South Korea has amazing. Seoul city has amazing land records, and all the other layers are built upon that. Singapore has three-dimensional twin image for the whole city and even underground. So there are countries in the world which are moving underground because it is realized that apart from the small towns where we're doing this program, sooner or later, all the urban areas will start growing above. And when they reach the pinnacle of growing vertically above, they'll start digging below. All the cities are digging below right now, and nobody knows where the pipeline is and where the metro lines are going and all that. So a lot of cities are preparing what we call 3D twin imagery, not only above surface but also under surface. A lot of cities, a lot of cities which consider them to be good planned cities have records of whatever is department's assets below. So if you start digging something, I was in Madhya Pradesh recently. When the road is made, the pipeline is damaged. When the pipeline is laid, the road is damaged, and nobody knows where the other features are. So that's the larger picture about creating a twin imagery of every city above ground and underground. So that developmental process, land acquisition, all the other systems that work in the city become seamless and on the same portal. So having said that, the other thing I want to highlight is that a lot of people say, why you want to do urban land records? So if you look at why urban land records, it is basically all the disputes. If you go to any peri-urban area, all the cities are growing. All cities look similar in the country right now, whether you're traveling in Indore or Kanyakumari or Imphal. Everybody is growing outside in apartments and flats, or small plots and bungalows, and the titles are not clear, even to the banking sector, even to the people who are buying, or the registrar who is registering the title and ownership and extent is not clear. So there's a lot of dispute. So almost 2/3 of the disputes in civil courts in India, as per various studies of McKinsey, we don't have our internal study, but as a McKinsey study report, 2/3 civil court case is because of land, because of where the land is, how much the land is, and between the 22 or 200 shareholders, who owns how much and where it is owned, and the generations together. A lot of disputes in the revenue courts, also in the civil courts, are pertaining to land, and that leads to a lot of uncertainty about this sector from investment perspective. If you are a real estate developer, you're always afraid about what the title is and who is the owner. So that's the important thing. A lot of people say, a lot of people in the judiciary say that if not one third, at least 1/5 of the criminal cases are because of land. And this is the answer I got from Bihar, saying that we are doing land record because a lot of law and order issues and criminal cases happen because of disputes about land. Brothers become enemies of brothers, and certainly about their fathers and cousins. So that's the important thing. So criminal cases are huge in the country, particularly related to land and the consequence of land. If you go to any peri-urban area, the dimensions are very different. Property dealer, broker, advocate, local staff, revenue staff. Not to say that politician, bankers. It's a milieu of things which happen in the peri-urban areas, leading to all the uncertainty. Panchayat Pradhan giving the NOC till the time master plan area is declared. So it becomes very chaotic. So it's very important to have land records, not only in urban areas, but also very critically in peri-urban areas, where the agricultural land is being converted to non-agricultural land, there should be extreme certainty about ownership and how much is being owned and where it is owned. Whether I own near the road and you own away from the road is very important critical factor to determine. It should not be determined on the streets by muscle power, but by certainty of the cadastral maps and land parcels and the record of rights. It is also realized that all these areas have lost the land records. So a lot of people say we have land records in our cities. I know a lot of cities which have land record apart from Maharashtra, which has a whole city survey, and Gujarat and Goa, which have city survey department separate within the revenue department and try to keep pace with urbanization. But there is a huge shortfall. I was in Gujarat recently, and the shortfall is almost 2/3. So if there is 100 land records, there are 300 property tax. So we are not keeping pace. And then there are sporadic movements to do city survey in peri-urban areas, but that is not keeping pace with the requirements of time, even in Maharashtra and Gujarat and Goa, which are participants in the NAKSHA program. So those are the important preludes of the whole thing. I think in their own training program, I welcome all the directors and officers of the Center of Excellence. I also welcome all the faculty members who would be taking training sessions, not teaching you, taking training sessions. Training is extremely different from teaching. So training sessions, and also the officers of these Survey of India and the Madhya Pradesh Electronic Development Corporation and the private sector with rovers and drones who will be participating in this training program. All the Center of Excellence have already done one training program before, which was also attended by around 140 odd participants. I was told today there are 124 participants in these 4 training programs. And I think there's active participation by MPSCDC and Survey of India, which are partners, which are our partners, including the third-party agency. So having said that, I could just speak extempo, but since there is a PowerPoint presentation, we'll put that on. Otherwise, it's good to have it becomes a monologue, so it's good to have some pictures and graphs on the screen. I hope the Center of Excellence have also taken feedback and taken the feedback that came in the last session. I read through them. The common demand is make it longer. We'll do a longer training program shortly, but this has to be 1 week. We have had around 160 people trained in 4 training programs in NIGST Hyderabad by Survey of India. Now we are trying to upscale. At one point of time, could have only a 1-week course. Luckily, with the help of master trainers also, I am forgetting them. Master trainers from various states. All the states currently have 4 master trainers, plus 2 who have been trained at the MPSCDC, and all of you who are coming from all these cities and states will be extremely critical in implementing this program. So going ahead, it's a pilot program. It's a flagship initiative between Mahua, MOPR. We have learned from Amrut and Smart City program of Mahua. We are trying to add value to that. We also watched very carefully the technical and administrative details of Swamitva program. Having learned from that, we have made this training program. It is currently in operation in 27 states and 3 union territories. So 30 of them are participating. Gujarat was the last to join. Manipur, because of the problems, has not joined. Then we have Ladakh, which is joining shortly. But I don't know whether they're attending the training program, but Ladakh has shown interest to join the training program. Rest all the states UTs are there, except the islands and small UTs. So Andamans, Lakshadweep, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Ladakh, Manipur, if I remember. These are the outliers. Pondicherry is participating, so Chandigarh is participating. Delhi is not participating currently. So Delhi is extremely complicated. Delhi is going through a new act that is coming up, weaving together all the corporations and authorities together. So they will wait. And Delhi actually is run by the Ministry of Mahua has DDA, which is the largest body in Delhi. So Delhi is not covered under the NAKSHA program. 157 cities currently participating. West Bengal and Jharkhand must be participating, maybe with the Labasna courts, but there is not very strong response from there. Current area is around 4,484 square kilometer. So that's important to look at. We have a technical partner, Survey of India. So Survey of India would do the flying and through the third-party agencies. They are flying right now. Almost they're touching the benchmark of 100 cities having flown. They would be providing the states via NPSCDC at the group director level, what we call the ortho rectified imagery, and which has the feature extracted, which has the QAQC done, which eventually will have DSM, DTM, and DEM. For cities with oblique camera and for 3D cities, there would also be a twin imagery that will come up for the cities. Some of the cities have LiDAR sensor also. So this I have already told. It is important. Most of the places, revenue department is doing the job. I have taken the onus, as rightly so to do survey and settlement by the revenue department. But 3 states, no problem. But Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Arunachal Pradesh, this is being done by the urban development department or the local self-government department. That's what the states it is being done by the revenue department, particularly through the survey and settlement directorate. Current estimate, we made the program at 194 crores, but it is touching 230 to 40 right now with the cost escalation that we're having on the way. But this was sanctioned on 25th of September 2024, and the benchmark was 1 year. So actually, it is a very tight timeline. We are finishing on 26th of September 2025, but we will have to extend by a month or 2 or finish by December, but certainly finish this program this year. We would scale this to 1,000 ULBs. I already have the data. I can write any day, but I'll wait for the pilot learnings, how it worked through, and then make a much robust program for all the 4,912 ULB. Luckily, census operations are also happening, so we'll have much detailed. I have currently the data of almost 11 census, which has outlived by 10 years. If you look at the growth of urban city, they already grown by 50% or 40% of the 2011 census. In the census, there are 7,000 cities, but they are not having urban local body, maybe now more. So why I have already told some of them: non-maintenance of record, rapid growth of urbanization. Everybody has a flat or a plot in an urban area. If you don't have, then you want to have it, and you are happy that things are growing. Double ho gaya 5 saal mein and all that. So rapid growth is happening, vertical and horizontal both. There is limitation to horizontal growth, but except if you are living near the sea, otherwise there would be a lot of vertical growth. And vertical growth is what Bombay relishes. Land values are extremely high. Rates are soaring. Land was measured in bighas and acres and hectares. Now it is measured in, initially it was measured in square meters and square feet. I have heard recently land being measured in gaj, which was used to measure cloth. So that is the kind of value land currently has, and only asset most of the citizens have, apart from the gold that the ladies keep hidden from the outside world. Disputed ownership and protracted legal battles. This is, I highlighted this, huge amount of disputes leading to all kind of civil problems, problems within the family, criminal problems, law and order issues, and all that. It is an impediment in planned infrastructure development. A lot of cities want metro. I was in, again, Madhya Pradesh, and every city has a metro, and they are having the biggest problem is land acquisition. Nobody knows whose land is where, how much to pay, and how much to pay is available in land acquisition ad. But whose land is where and who is their actual shareholder is extremely difficult. Most of the cities will go through planned redevelopment or insertion of metros and rapid transports, etc. But that point of time, and new airports coming up, I think it is an impediment in planned infrastructure development unless you have great land records. Land acquisition is a huge problem for the country. The smoother transactions and access to credit. Currently, most of the record of rights are not appended to mortgages by the banks. I keep talking to the bankers, and they say we don't know anything. We hire attorneys to prove that he is the real owner and I can buy. So there's a lot of uncertainty. Last 3 words are very critical: transparency, accessibility, and accuracy. Next. Complicated numbers, but all these states and UTs are participating. Deeper the blue, more the number of urban local bodies, and more the area and more the population that is being covered. So you can see we have capped at 10 urban local body per state. That is the maximum. Lowest would be 1. So the numbers vary from 1 to 10, and every state has a different, depending on their capabilities, depending on their past experience, depending on their technological capacity, depending on the administrative will and acumen, and having rovers and technology, having tested technology. So it is just done on that, nothing to do with Assam is moving very quickly, although in the northeast, but they have done drone flying for the whole state. So therefore 10 in Assam, just to give example. So numbers vary. The numbers in red are basically the area, but sorry, the second last line is the area for the field survey. This we are keeping constant, and the aerial survey figures are varying because two things. We have told that the area could increase because we are interested, as I told earlier, in the peri-urban area. Most of the problem is in the peri-urban area. So when we say urban local body, we say that 25 to 30% of the area you can take in peri-urban area where the city has likelihood to grow, where you have the corporation finishing and the authority is starting. Even if there is no authority, the master plan area. Even if there is no master plan area, 25% area beyond the urban local body. So that we have kept. Survey of India has added a feature called grid system because this can't be done again, although it did not happen in initial cities, but now they are going by grid system. So grid means if the boundary is wavy, they will still take the whole square. 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer square, they will do the complete square so that tomorrow we don't have to fly again and the maps look good. So there is increase in the area of some of the late starting cities. So this is almost becoming double right now. I don't know the total numbers, but yes, area has become double for sure in aerial survey flying. So दो चीजें हैं. One is that we are allowing 30% extra flying. So the towns which have not flown and the officers are participating, when you go back and you have a vendor coming to you to fly, please insist to fly 25, 30% more. This will give you maps of the peri-urban area where you can do ground truthing at your own will. जबकि second last जो पैरा है, ground truthing will be done only in this. So two important factors. One is that the area should be less than 35 square kilometer for the urban local bodies, and the second is population should be 2 lakh and not beyond 2 lakh. So you can, this is absolute total population. We don't have the population right now on the screen, but we have capped it at, so example, Gorakhpur has a population of 7,70,000 people, but field survey, they will fly for 7,70,000. We'll fly for 100 square kilometer, whatever is the area of Gorakhpur, but field survey we will do only in 2 lakh population area and 35 square kilometer area. So that's the benchmark, because we don't want to get into Gorakhpur and spend 5 years in Gorakhpur. We want to come out very quickly, 4-5 ward karke, have experience and go ahead and publish the map. So that's the idea. Please remember, यही difference है between the second last and the last. So that's the next year. Okay, so this is the number of ULB. Again, more clear. So all the blues have 10 ULBs each, deep blues. Light blues have 1 ULB each, most of them in the northeast. So every smaller states, 1 state each. Manipur, you can see the color. There is no number, so it is not participating currently. Gujarat is the last one to come on board. Ladakh, you can see is still blank, but Ladakh would come on. So this is just giving you a number of cities per, depending on numbers. So number of states. Some of them are 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. So a lot of them are 1, a lot of them are 10. The rest everybody has chosen their own paths. So that's the idea. Non-participating, I think I read the whole thing, except I missed none. Next. Okay, so this is the area per square per state. So this is also variable and actually reflects the numbers and also the capabilities of the state to carry forward this pilot very quickly. It's a pilot, so nothing being biased. This is all because Karnataka has a lot of experience and they have drones flying for the state. They have a lot of rovers. They can start very quickly. Kerala is doing a program, complete state with ETS, DGPS. They don't have ORI sheets. ORI sheets might work, might not work in Kerala because of the coconut areas and forested areas and cities being extremely dispersed, where the city stops and villages begin. Nobody knows in Kerala. So Kerala, we took 10. Madhya Pradesh has drone imagery for almost 30 cities. They want to move. They are moving in 2. They completed 2. In NAKSHA, they will do 8 more. So therefore, Madhya Pradesh was chosen. Maharashtra has city survey experience. They already started ground truthing. They are starting today, I think, in the state of Maharashtra in all the 10 ULBs together. So that is the reason Rajasthan wanted to do 10, and urban local body has a lot of surveyors and instruments. Not the urban local body, is the department is called local self-government department in Rajasthan. Tamil Nadu, the land records are as perfect in the city of Chennai as it is perfect in the villages in the districts of Tamil Nadu. So they have not done city survey, but they have tried to maintain urban land records as if they are maintaining agricultural land records. So they have, they don't have used technology much. They do a chain compass initially, now by ETS DGPs, but yes, Tamil Nadu has great land records, both from ROR, and they don't divide the record of rights without dividing the map. That's the only state I have found, apart from the late starters like Karnataka, which have made it compulsory now to come to the registrar only with a divided piece of land, both on number or on map. So Tamil Nadu maintains that. Just to give you a flair, Telangana has 10, a lot of technology. UP is a large state, so we thought we'll give 10 different cities across the state. So from west to center to east, every city is different from western UP to eastern UP. And so Assam has experience. Andhra has completed 10,000, almost 7,000 villages out of 16,081 villages that they have in Andhra Pradesh. So that's the ULB area and the ULB's numbers. Next. Now this is interesting because we also heard all the private vendors, all the ministries, all departments, all the states which were trying to do at that point of time, almost 6 months back. After hearing everybody, there was not much clarity, and across the world also, from Dubai's and Singapore's and Seoul's and Nigeria is doing land records, but they are greenfield programs, so they don't have any records. It's great to do land records in Africa because there's no land record. It's like Somit program. So we realized that one technology will fit all the cities is not possible. And therefore, we divided the cities into 3 kind of technologies. So I'll elaborate further in the slide, but some of the states have, like technology 3, you will find prevalent across in the northeast and the mountain states. So you can see technology 3 in Tripura, Sikkim, Nagaland, Mizoram, Himachal Pradesh, Chandigarh, Arunachal Pradesh. So these are basically using oblique cameras and LiDAR sensors all. So mountain, you can see the mountain angle there. So you have LiDAR sensor and you have oblique cameras. So 4 side, 5 cameras, basically 4 cameras at different angle and central nadir camera, which gives you great imagery. So we are trying that in the mountain states and congested areas. That doesn't mean 3 is available only there. You can also find 3 present in some cities in West Bengal, Bihar, Goa, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh. So I remember Gorakhpur, Jhansi are in technology 3 because they are extremely complicated, congested, old towns, and also vertically rising in the periphery. So the technology has been selected depending on the complexity of the city, how congested it is. If it is extremely planned and simple, like Assam, some of the cities, and some of the cities in Andhra, Gujarat, Jammu Kashmir, the central portion, you will find a lot of technology 1. So technology 1 is basically for planned cities, NTPC colony or SAIL colony, or a planned city like Chandigarh, or a city which is growing only at 2 floors or 3 floors. A lot of cities are going at 2 floors and 3 floors until the time land prices become non-negotiable. So those are 1 and 2 and 3. Just to give you an idea, we'll also show you a slide of how these technologies behave. But aapka shahar, whichever town you are representing, or whichever city you have come from, or whichever state you are coming from, in this training program, try to determine which technology is being used for your city. What do you mean by these 3 technology? How does the output look like, and all that. Next. Okay, so this was also given to private companies. We also wanted the private sector in India to learn as we do this, because there have been sporadic attempts to fly drones across the country. Particularly, you'll fly drones and LiDAR. LiDAR cameras have been flown across for National Mission on Clean Ganga in the belt of UP, Bihar, West Bengal. Large database is available. A lot of drones were also flown for coastal zone regulation by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change for look at national coastal zones. 2 important models. Third, a lot of drones were flown to do property tax assessment under Amrut and Smart City programs. You have LiDAR sensors also going across to look at water, particularly if you're looking at water as a phenomena, how soil and water behave with each other, what are the gradients of the slope and aspect. I think LiDAR becomes very important. So various technologies has been used at various times in India, but for sure, for urban areas, for property taxation, for land, Somit was a great example of 2D camera being used across the few lakh villages across the country. JS Panchayati Raj was saying that he's almost completed 90% villages. Only few are left to pull. Otherwise, it's going very fine. That is 2D Nadi camera. Now, you will get only roof and roof and roof. You can survive with roof and some ground truthing. So those are Swamit for all the villages, some coastal zone, some Ganga mission, some other cities. Jaipur has a twin image flown by oblique lidar and backpack lidar and road-driven lidar. So Jaipur is one of the Jaipur is the only city in the country currently, as per my knowledge, which has a twin image, which has been enabled by backpack lidars on the streets. But not much application happened. It's a different phenomena. Though it was not, and the city has changed. And city grows. Jaipur grows every night, every day. So this is just to give you an idea that the cities and the states have been divided among various firms. So when you go to your city, you'll find suddenly Arhas technology coming in your city, or CE Info, which is Map My India, coming. So we wanted not to give more than 4 packages to every company. So we have given only 4 packages so that everybody learns. So a lot of people qualified, long financial and technical and administrative bidding and all that. But this is what has happened. So all the in every, depending on technology also. So like Uttarakhand, I can see drone destination. This is doing flat 2D cities. Garuda is doing oblique camera 3D cities. So you'll find the name of the company, and some of them have been, I think Stella City is still surviving. RSI has gone, needs some updation. This slide. Next. Okay, so having said that, to lay the bedrock for the discussions, and in the time that we have, we'll look at what we want from all these stakeholders. So like us, we here sitting in this hall in Department of Land Resources, we are supposed to do these many things. This is written in the standard operating procedure. I'll request all the Center of Excellences to please provide a copy of English or Hindi version of the standard operating procedure that we have made for NAKSHA. And also please utilize the training manual developed by the NIGST Hyderabad during the training program. So there are 2 important books to carry back home when you leave this training program after a week. Please carry these 2 important documents, apart from the flyers and videos that we use to put awareness about NAKSHA program. So we have set up a PMU, National Project Management Unit, which is present in this hall right now. So states are also supposed to be making a PMU. I'll come to the state responsibilities. Selection of cities, I have told we have completed. We have issued the standard operating procedure. We are ready to issue guidance at any time. We are currently working in collaboration with MP, State Electronic Development Corporation, and Survey of India, and NICSI, which is hosting on the cloud. So we do look for guidance and provide guidance to our capacities. Capacity building, we have taken on us at the national level, but now we'll offload to the states concerned. So states में 4 मास्टर ट्रेनर हैं, 2 लोग MPSCTC प्लेटफॉर्म को समझते हैं, बाकी आप लोग ट्रेन हो रहे हैं. All of you would now start running training program depending on the state's requirement at the ATI, at the settlement directorates, or in the urban local body straight away. You can straight away start training in the urban local body, bringing the ULB teams on board. So that's important. We are developing a platform. I'll explain a bit later, but we have, after scrambling through various private companies and various presentations, we have decided that one of the government bodies in a state, Madhya Pradesh State Electronic Development Corporation, not because they are in Madhya Pradesh, just because they have the capacities to work with various departments. And we realized that they have done similar work for urban registration department, urban department, revenue department, and all the other departments. So MPCDC does all the development of portals and apps and stuff. So we have given this to them. They have already developed a GIS platform. They will be coming to your states and cities. They are traveling around the clock and trying to develop a portal for your state. Please help them in telling about what laws you want, what steps you want, etc., etc. So GIS platform end-to-end hai, touchless hai. Nothing is allowed to be carried on paper, except, which is inevitable in the current scenario in the government, since we don't have the registration indexes and papers, we'll carry some documents, maybe property tax also in some cities, but normally it is desired that they will this platform will convert those manual documents into soft copies and load into the system. So if you go to a house and ask a person, if you don't have a registration deed and he gives you a registration deed, you will scan, create a PDF under the NAKSHA program and upload in the system. to determine who the owner is. So the GIS platform is quite robust. It is evolving as we go ahead, but by this month, we would have a working platform. The storage, we thought we'll have it at the state headquarter level, but then there's so much variation in capacities at the state. We decided we'll have it on the cloud. Everybody can take that information, everybody can keep information, change information as you go ahead. So storage is with NIC. There's a slide on that, so I'll come to that. Documentation, we want to do a national level IEC. Few videos are already developed. Please use them freely. English, Hindi, videos are there. We are developing more. So please use them, convert into local languages, because awareness will be extremely critical in this factor, and monitoring the program. And I will request the COEs after they have finished with the training to be our eyes and ears in the field. So then the role conversion will happen for the Center of Excellence to look at how the program is evolving, what is working, what is not working, and capturing all that and documenting during the process, not documenting at the end as a survey program at the end or writing a good report. Next. I think the number of vendor and packages would have changed. So the Survey of India is providing the services, and they have, as I told, there are 17 packages and 9 vendors. There must be some change in the numbers, but आपको अपने शहर का AOI लिखा है. SOI is Survey of India. AOI is area of interest. So currently, the cities, the ULBs gave us the shape files, and we have marked the shape file, given it to the Survey of India. That is the area of interest as per us, our information to us. But this will change. अगर आपको extra area fly कर रहा है, एक city is growing more on a particular road, you will have to determine and fix the area of interest with 30% extra that you can take अगर flying हो नहीं गई है तो. So fixing of boundary is a role of the Survey of India, but with the urban local body and the state concerned. Collecting ground control point, extremely critical. They've already completed in almost 100 cities. Aerial survey they will conduct. They will feature extract. So now feature extraction means there is a schema on which they will take out the roads and the lakes and the forest areas and the parks. They will also, for every land parcel, give you dimensions. Except for 1 or 2 states, we don't want a feature extraction. Features would be extracted both by the schema of how the features look like, but more so from dimensions of the land. So every polygon would have the dimensions written. You can change that during ground truthing, which is extremely critical. I'll come to that also later. Next. So you'll have to, the most critical role is of the state. We can only run this program, give finances, give technology, borrow from the world over, from the national level and provide to you. But ultimately the success of this program in the states will depend on all of you who are participating in this training program. State are supposed to be setting up a SPMU. A lot of states have set up, a lot of states have not, a lot of states are setting up. So state program management unit of 8 to 4 people would be important to have at the state level. Then supporting Survey of India and getting clearances for aerial survey from the district magistrate, from the superintendent police, from the airport authority, etc., etc. So those are the 2 important roles for states. Then enormous amount of awareness. This program will not succeed without capacity building and awareness, 2 critical tools. Capacity building because capacities, of, not to say in the wrong way, but capacities of the lowest level revenue department staff is extremely limited. They still use cloth maps and butter paper maps and classical ways of measuring land. They need to evolve. The world has changed completely, and they don't have the capacity. So you'll have to hire surveyors. The program provides for hiring surveyors and helpers and GIS experts. Please hire them, but it is important to have the revenue department in loop. We realize that in the states where everything was done by private sector, things did not succeed. Technology, flying, using of rovers, surveying should be done by the private sector, including the WebGIS platform. But thereafter, the journey of ground truthing and talking to the people and going to the cities and having the idea about who is owning this land is the job of the revenue department and the urban local department. So we have set 5-member team would be there, and number of team would be determined by area. Every team will have revenue inspector or a patwari or a talhati, as you call it, and also urban local body inspector, a property inspector or a UAB inspector or a urban secretary, as they call in Andhra Pradesh. The 2 critical guys, because ULB inspectors would know who is paying property tax and who is owning this property, while the revenue department officer would be required to do measurements and also if they have land records, to borrow from the land records, whatever it is, however it is, borrow from that and determine the area, and also settlement and survey both. So that is very important. Procurement of survey equipment. The most critical equipment that the states are buying is GNSS rovers, which will give you 5 centimeter accuracy, horizontal and vertical. Most of the places might not give you that accuracy in congested areas and areas with a lot of trees and built up area, etc., etc. So rovers are being procured by states. This is a phenomenal change because of the CRS network that Survey of India has set up. India, very few countries in the world have a CRS network. We have around 1024 CRS stations in the country, which enable the rovers to get a 5 centimeter accuracy. Those days of calibrating accuracy by various dimensions and borrowing it from a control point of a Survey of India is gone. We'll have to still do the control points, but you'll get single instrument precision of 5 centimeter. That is amazing. So states are buying rovers. Every team has to take one rover and one vehicle and a driver and a helper and a surveyor and a revenue inspector and a urban local body inspector. So that's the composition of a team which will do around 25 to 30 properties per day. That is what we realized from all these states. And this is the most critical component. Now, moving ahead, I'll come to that ground to thing a bit later, but just trying to cover through all the stakeholders. I have told you about MPSCDs. They're making enterprise software development and dovetailing as per the state requirement. The second point is extremely critical. They have made one for the national level, but this has to be different from Meghalaya and Gujarat or Jammu Kashmir and Tamil Nadu in the language portion, also in the process flow, how you want to do it under various revenue acts. It's also a regulatory framework that is quite critical, and we'll come back with you. A lot of states have enabling clause. A lot of states don't distinguish between rural and urban area. A lot of states very clearly say in their act, the urban area also you can do survey and settlement. A lot of states bar measurement of urban area. So that is the kind of dimension we have. We don't know your acts and laws, although we have a fair bit of information here, but you will have to make it for your own requirement. So we call it NAKSHA portal, mobile phone, desktop, laptop, controller that comes with the rovers will have this loaded, but आपको अपने state के अनुसार इसको dovetail कराना पड़ेगा. Next. So I have told NIC, come back. So MPSCDC will reach you. They will also train you, all of you. Today in this training program also they will come to you, but they will also come to your states, not to the cities, but to your states and train you in how do you run this WebGIS platform. So please engage with them where they are here. They already visited 5 states last week. They will be visiting more states this month. So please be cooperative with them and also develop it for you. This is your tool, not their tool. Next. NIC, I told you, have a cloud spirits. Megraj 2.0 is the app that is called. It's owned by the government of India. It's disaster proof. So we have a set of information at Hyderabad. A copy is kept at Bhubaneswar. We pay double the amount, but it costs enormous amount to keep database. I'm 3 GB per village for Swamitva. If you use oblique camera, the database goes very high. But it's important. It's about land. So we'll maintain this database at the national level. In the agricultural sector and rural sector also, we are trying to move to cloud in the next year onwards. Those days of holding at state level data center is gone. So that is what they do. They will also use data security audit and database management. But this is central to the theme. Next. So Center of Excellence, all 4 are here except Lavasna, which has another course running. They will come next week. But all of you have an extremely critical role. You are all at the Center of Excellence. Thanks to the Center of Excellence for coming on board with us and taking the effort to be equal partner in the NAKSHA program. So training programs, evaluation study on land governance and documentation of best practice, not only about NAKSHA, about DLMP and registration system and revenue code system. We're trying to work on all that. Give technical assistance in survey resurvey. I wrote this 1 year back, but actually you're giving today technical assistance in survey resurvey. This is exactly what we thought 1 year ahead when we established the Center of Excellence at these 5 locations. Give hands-on training to states. This is what you're doing right now. Review the acts. This is a slightly lacking area. Maybe after these training programs, start looking at your acts and rules in your states concerned and trying to make them NAKSHA compliant. And we also, I don't have time today, but in the incentive program, we are trying to revise the revenue acts and manuals and land codes of the country. We can't do that. Land is a state subject. Registration Act, we have a new copy. on the air. You can comment on that. Acquisition Act is quite fresh, but land is not our subject, so we can only incentivize. So there is a huge incentive now to the states to reform their traditional revenue court case system, extremely complicated, as complicated as judicial systems, not to be causing a contempt of the courts, but we have made our revenue courts extremely complicated and trouble the citizens a lot, and the lawyers are having a good time. So we want all that work to happen. Next चलिए चले आगे चले, खत्म हो गया, दोबारा क्यों चल रही है? जा रहे हैं, नेक्स्ट जाइए. So I hope the screen is visible again. Anybody can confirm? Any of the Center of Excellence? Will give me a 1 minute breather also. Can somebody confirm about the visibility of the slide?
Visible,
Yes,
sir.
Okay. So going ahead, and thank you so much. Thank you. So these are the three technologies I was talking about. This is a visualization. Cameras look very different from each other. I have seen at least 100 varieties of Nadir camera. But 2D Nadir camera is basically looking like that. It's a normal camera. It's a normal camera that you use at home. And this gives you, this takes pictures. So it is flown. The more overlap is there in horizontal flying and front flying, the better the pictures are. So we have mandated that stereo image should be given apart from the 2D image. So sari chhat with boundary wall of the chhat and the water tank that you see in India, syntax tanks and white and black color, that is visible. That will be captured by 2D Nadir camera. This would be called the ortho-rectified imagery after all the images are stitched together and the surface and terrain models are brought into picture. It gives you a 2D data set good enough to do urban land record survey. Currently, we are doing it in 24 urban local bodies. Most of them are because these are small cities. They're all slightly flat cities. So 84 ULBs go in Nadir camera. This will give you ORI, DEM, 2D data set. It will not give you 3D data, but will give you a stereo view if you want to see the buildings from the side. Stereo view improves the ortho-rectified imagery. And the quality control, QAQC of all these would be done by our group directors in the Survey of India. 18 of them are working around the clock to do QAQC of the ORI and also of the feature extraction. So feature extraction word is missing here. So feature extraction would also be done in 2D Nadir camera. So it will be a flat image, a picture of the whole city with all the boundary walls drawn of all the roads, all the parks, all the lakes, and all the land parcels. So that's the 2D Nadir camera. The second image you can find, and when I was saying 5 images, that is basically 4 cameras at 4 different angles. And the center one is a Nadir camera. So this is an oblique camera with 5 cameras basically. We also give you ORI, DEM, but it will give you 3D reality model. So all your buildings you can see from both the sides, all the gullies, all the small roads, everything that is 3D is seen from all the sides because it takes 5 pictures of the same thing at every point of time. So this is oblique camera utilized in 48 urban local bodies. Most of the urban local bodies are complicated, congested, has a lot of trees, has gone through a lot of urbanization that has happened, and also maybe it has growing vertically. So vertical flats and buildings are coming up. So therefore, we are using oblique angle camera in 48 ULBs. The third is basically a mixture of both, oblique plus radar sensor. Now instruments have come. Last wala jo instrument dekh raha aapko, this is basically using Nadir and oblique and radar sensors together, but it's extremely heavy instruments. So normally we have realized that most of the vendors which are doing third technology, which is oblique angle camera along with radar sensor. So radar sensor is basically utilized in slope determination and in bare earth determination. So normally the vendors are flying both of them separately if they are flying on a rover because they are extremely heavy instruments. But if you're flying an aeroplane or a helicopter, which has also been flown by a lot of vendors, they can fly both of them together, the second and third image, or a fourth one. I have not heard of anybody using the fourth one right now. So 25 ULB, mostly mountains, mostly Himalayas, mostly extremely complicated, are using oblique camera along with LiDAR sensor. We want to learn how much help LiDAR sensor will give me in determining exact areas and exact 3D models, because slope would be important factor in Shimlas and Aizols of the world. And so therefore we are using this and we'll learn. Not many people have done this before in India or abroad also. The third technology is extremely least utilized across the world, except in Singapore's and Dubai's. Next, please. I've covered this. Yeah, so this is what is the progress of aerial flying status as on date. So total area of data acquisition has risen from 4,000 to 6,000 square kilometers. I told you, सारे zones में. So south zone is flying a lot. West has lesser number of. It depends on how do you define west, and area that has been flown or completed is around 4,209. तो 6,000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर करना है. 4,209 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर की फ्लाइंग कंप्लीट हो गई है. सो डेटा एक्वायर कर लिया है 70% एरिया में फॉर द टेक्नोलॉजी 1 and 2 बेसिकली, विच इज oblique and 2D cameras, and in LiDAR data acquisition technology 3 also, depending on the total area, 70% is complete. So 30% is being done, but this is only flying. There is a lot of work that happens after flying in the laboratories of determining features and measuring all the lines, and as per the schema determining various features in the urban setup. Next. So total number of, when you use the word GD, don't get confused. So Survey of India के office हैं regional level, सारे state में एक office है, most of them, but some of them have 2 or 3 states. So 19 group directorates are working with us. Please take a list of these directorates and their email addresses and mobile numbers and phone numbers when you leave this training program. I'll request my team, which has the database now, to share with the Center of Excellence today, so that I can print and give it to them. You can talk to them in case of a problem. Talk to them, pressurize them, ask them, where is my data set of this city and all that. So 19 group directorates doing this with us. Number of ULBs are 128. I say 128, not 157, because a lot of states have ORI beforehand, like Assam, MP, Andhra, Kerala, not Kerala. So these 3 states have a lot of ORIs. Madhya Pradesh has a lot of ORIs. So flying actually is happening in 128. Not in 157. Rest of them are using their own ORI sheets. Flying completed 79, 2D, sorry, T1 and T2, technology 1 and technology 2, 14 flying completed in technology 3 also. So this would not be interesting, but just to give you an idea that after flying also, a lot of things happen. So out of 79 flying completed, 50 cities ka ORI, orthorectified imagery, has been submitted by the vendors to Survey of India, out of which 43 का QAQC कर लिया, सब कुछ ठीक पाया गया, and has been passed and given back to the vendor. After the ORI is given back to the vendor, they submit that surface model and the terrain model and the elevation model. तो उनका भी QAQC होता है. You can see the numbers कहाँ पहुँच गए हैं. Most important for me would be 3D mesh model. You can see 15 cities 3D mesh model has been submitted for QAQC. Only 2 have been completed. जिसमें vertical दोनों साइड, चारों साइड की ड्राइंग दिखेगी आपको. Last one is critical because 16 cities का feature extraction कर लिया है, यानी every line of all the land parcels and everything in that city has been determined. So out of 79 flying completed, 50 ORI submitted, only 16 feature extraction has been submitted for QAQC. Must have been more by now, but 9 have passed the journey. So 9 cities are available to start the journey of ground truthing. Every feature is known. So that's what it looks like. I think this slide we can avoid. Can be scary for people who are watching on mobiles, particularly. Moving ahead, if you look at the group directorate level analysis, I think this will not be important for the participants today, because the participants, I've seen the list. They come from urban local body. There are officers of the urban local body. There are revenue inspector. There are GIS expert. There are also urban local body inspectors. There are junior engineers, if I have not forgotten anybody. So this is the dimension of trainees that are present. So this would not be very useful. But we also monitoring GD wise how the progress is, how much is the total number of ULB, how much ULB flying is complete, and then how much QAQC is happening and all that. Next, really. Okay, so these are the vendors. Some of them are doing extremely good. Some of them are not so good, as happens in everything in the world. Some of them are extremely moving very quickly. Like LTI Mindtree has most of the oblique and radar sensor. They are moving quickly. Garuda is now started moving. So this is basically distribution of company-wise कितने ULB हैं. Not very interesting for you, but उसका stage भी है. कितने flying complete हो गई है पीछे करें. So how much flying has completed is in orange. वही चीज जो आपको पीछे दिखाया. This is basically company-wise. So we also just to show you that if monitoring is written against DoLR, we do it quite rigorously, and we expect the same thing from your states concerned. Next. Okay, so this is what is vendor-wise. You can see RV Associates has completed 100% flying. Pioneer has completed 90%. Some of the companies are not doing very well. Azure started late in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. They have just been given 2 packages. This went for retendering. StellaSit is not performing very well. 21% flying complete, nothing on QAQC. So you can look at that. So people, states in RV Associates company will have all the database ready very quickly. Pioneer, Arhas has completed QAQC and they're doing feature extraction right now. So this is the kind of monitoring of the vendors that we do next. Okay. So now having done that, once this portion is done, this is with the Government of India. This portion we are doing, we are propelling the Survey of India, the third-party agencies, the MPSCDC, the NAKSHA to come on board and do all this with us. So after we have completed all this, you can find one person in that picture in a pink shirt has a rover in front of him. He's holding a rover. That is called a GNSS rover. That if you're not seen till now, and I know I also saw GNSS rover very recently. It's a new technology, but that is how small the instrument is. And this instrument will give you 5 centimeter horizontal and 5 centimeter vertical accuracy. So the place he's touching on Earth, this is extremely marvelous to have a 5 centimeter accuracy. I have done survey before and it used to be complicated to get any kind of accuracy possible. And the person in the cap below the umbrella has an instrument called a controller. It can be a mobile phone also. It can be a controller given by the company, by the same company which is giving a rover, by another company can supply a controller. So I have seen Assam has a Trimble rover, but a Samsung controller. A lot of states are using mobile phones straight away. So that controller in his hand will have a map of the whole thing that I have talked till now. That will actually have a map of every line that was drawn, every feature that was extracted, and he will have an idea. If it is 3D, he can also see 3D features. So he will be having reference of the place he's standing on, and then he puts that rover that will give a point on that controller, just to make the journey easy for all of you who are attending. And I think this will be covered in detail in the session that we will have. But this point of the gentleman having that instrument would be a point on the controller. So if you measure the 4 points, you can correct the lines drawn by the companies. So you can actually give you exact location of all the land parcels in the city concerned. So this is what I want to show here. I don't know what is written in the text, but that is what it looks like. So GNSS rover, controller, and the map in the controller are non-negotiable. So this will come loaded, and you will have to change the point. Maybe if you find 2 brothers as owners, give 2 different merge or split the map of the polygon. Or if you find 3 buildings owned by the same person in the same land parcel, you might give 1 ownership. So that will the journey you will take. Somebody's area, most of the people's area would be same as per the registration deed, as per the allotment order of the authority concerned, as per the record of rights or the cadastral maps or the land parcel map. A lot of places the area will change a bit. It will change within the range. A lot of states have 10% tolerance. A lot of states have 5% tolerance. But within that tolerance level, a lot of area will come. But certainly for some, if registration is 300 square meter, you might get 295. You might get 304. That is the beauty of technology, but that's fine. So next year, this will have to be done by the state government, and all of you are attending the training would be extremely important in this journey, because we realize here in Government of India that 20% money, 20% time would be spent on the portion I've covered. 80% of the time, money, resources, technology, and IEC material and awareness and capacity would be utilized in the rest of the journey. When you will go to every land parcel and determine, this can be done only by the state government, this can be done only by all of you who are present in this training program, not by us in Government of India. It would be ultra wires of the constitution if we start doing this, except in the Union Territory of Pondicherry or Chandigarh, where I can still do urban land record, but not normally. So that's very important. We'll have to do revenue mutation maps and camps, and survey officers will have to come. Public meetings will have to be held. Local politicians would be involved, extremely important partners, ward members. So it would become more like a mission mode. It would not be a standard government program operating at their own pace. You'll have to also look at what kind of notices are required. Every state has a different notice. Some have a proclamation for the whole city. Some have to give a notice to every land parcel owner, every property owner, and a lot of diversity would be there in how you keep property tax document. Manual, digital, geospatial. So property tax document will also vary. Registration deed. A lot of you have a legacy document online. Metadata has been created. You can search registration deed for 20 years or 30 years. Some of you registration deed would be as archaic as possible. There would just be a record lying in the registrar offices. So that data accumulation is very critical to look at registration deed, land records, record of rights and cadastral maps, and look at property tax. Property tax is not ownership, but property tax document is the most real document right now in the urban areas. The rest can feed, and then you can maybe have to go by, and what weightage you give to various document would be also important to determine. Electricity bill, water bill, anything else that the government officer, a bill, normal bill would be important documents to realize. I think Karnataka, which is doing it, it takes around 46 or 42 varieties of documents, and then has decided internally to give weightage to various documents and determine who the owner is. You don't want to regularize encroachment in this training program, but you can find every land parcel, irregular or regular. So idea is to determine. Please don't issue Urpro card, as we call it, to people who have encroachment, but you actually measured, and you know there's electricity connection here, or there's a registry that has happened, registered deed or non-registered, but it's important to determine all that. Next. So what tool you will have? You will have the ORI coming from the map 1. We call it map 1, जो पहले किया, existing cadastral map, field knowledge, possession between the brothers, between the sisters, between father and the son, etc., etc., and the survey equipment. So this is what you will have, and this is what the exercise will look like. They are trying to do ground truthing of every land parcel in the. And this journey is what we want you to understand in this training program of a week, and take it back home, because you would be trained to look at this journey. It's extremely exciting with technology, extremely important to do, solves the problems of the people, but requires both technical possibilities, administrative push, and the political bearing. Next, Chaliye. Okay, so the same thing I've been telling again and again, but I think that is what is reflected in the flow. Ownership determine करना पड़ेगा, land parcel identify करना पड़ेगा. So second point is what surveyors call it settlement. The third point is what surveyors call survey. So survey is determining the land parcels area. Ownership determine करेंगे तो settlement operations हो जाएगा. And ground demarcation and boundary validation. With this we have all covered. Then you will deposit this and publish what we call map 2. So after the survey and settlement is completed, you will determine this is the size of the land and he is the owner of this piece of land, or the shop, or a flat, or a building, and publish that map and give it a copy of the map to him, or publish it online, and then invite grievances from the people. 5 to 6% will come for grievances. That is a normal learning from all the cities that are doing this. Next, Chaliye. Okay, so this we have covered, I think, coming erratically. This would have come there when we had talked about MPS cities, but this is what they are developing. Next, Chaliye. So they will onboard all of you. They're developing various things. I don't want to bore you, but they would be coming and giving a whole session on this. So I'll skip this slide, but remember that MPCDC is making a end-to-end enterprise office coin, one of its kind, and people are finding it extremely difficult to adjust that this is possible. We're also trying to experiment with artificial intelligence and machine learning, so that the document scanning between government documents become easy. But that we'll learn as we go ahead. But abhi nahi hai aisa. because if the address is same in registration deed, property tax document, land record document, electricity bill, all the addresses should come on one platform. But easier said than done. People who are doing ground truthing in a lot of states are actually resorting to taking a printout and stuff. So please do as it is suitable to you, but the portal is available. And whatever document you take printouts, there's a possibility in this server to in this platform to upload onto and keep it preserved. Next. They will tell you in detail about this portal, but this is what this portal looks like. Next. So NIXI is so this is where we are keeping the data. I have already told you this is a very robust data management system. We are using this infrastructure here and keeping it on the cloud and very safe, extremely safe. So yeah, just to coming towards the end of this presentation, left side में जो equipment दिख रहा है अगर आपने देखा ना हो, this is called a CORS network, continuously referencing stations that we have built up across the country in SAMIT program by the leadership of Survey of India. Every portion of the country is covered by the grids provided by the CORS. So बायां वाला CORS है. This actually gathers the data from all the satellites possible and relays further, and therefore rovers become extremely precise. So CORS देश में लगा हुआ है. We are just to add, there was a submission by the Survey of India that 1024 CORS that there are in the country might not be sufficient for some of the towns. जो हमारे नक्शा के towns हैं, some of them will have weak signal because they are far away from the 4 CORS network on the corners. So we have also commissioned that we'll provide around 40 CORS to be established under program. So tender is already on. More CORS will be put up just to do NAKSHA program in the country and do urban land record as we evolve further. You have all seen ETS before, but that is very important. Map server is quite critical. QAQC करके Survey of India will provide in front of MPSCDC to your states. All of you have to take the data and then start ground truthing. So this is important to understand. The technology is already available in some of the states. Andhra Pradesh has a homegrown platform and technology. They will use their own. Kerala has developed through Hexagon company a very good robust system that looks exactly similar to this. Then Andhra Pradesh through a private vendor also has a system. Rest of the states don't have a system right now. Maharashtra has a system. So they will give us API and on the dashboard we'll be able to see how many and what is happening and where the ground truthing is happening, but they will manage on their own system. So similar systems are available in 4 states. We are not aware about any state which has a robust system, which is NAKSHA compliant, which follows the SOP of NAKSHA program. Next slide. So to start winding up in the next 5-10 minutes, we have map 1. Map 1 is being incentivized. There must be a slide on incentives, but ORI generate करना और feature extraction कर लेना is a technological phenomena. We call it map 1. तो आपके शहर का map 1 बना के we will provide, DoLR, Survey of India and the vendors and MPSDC will provide to you. When you get this, we will also incentivize the cities. So every city will get 10 crores, 5 crores, 30 crores, depending on the size as an incentive amount so that the local rhythm is maintained to do this. Map 2 is the most critical. Map 2 is awareness, capacity building, community engagement, looking at all the data sets, property tax, registration, record of right, any other data sets, and then this survey, actual survey on the ground. A lot of the states are completed. Looks scary, but states are completing this very quickly. Andhra Pradesh is completing a lot of cities. Madhya Pradesh is moving very quickly. Kerala is moving. Kerala is completed. Assam is completing. Karnataka is completing. Maharashtra has moved on. Not possible. It's not impossible. It's very easily doable. Only thing is you require the understanding of how it is to be done. So after that, you publish map 2. Map 2 is published online. This is not the final map. This is the first draft, if you can say that. Then you have disputes and grievances. Brothers saying, मैं भी इसमें owner हूँ, boundary गलत है, size गलत है, shape गलत है. So data correction and processing will happen, and then you finalize the claim following the revenue manuals about ownership, about the share, about area, about boundary, and about the shape of the land parcel, and publish the final urban land records, which we call as map 3. And every landowner has a certificate. Next slide. This is what the certificate looks like. This is provided in the copy. We can change it. States can change a bit This is the minimum. This is just a demonstrative skeleton that we require or desire, not deserve from the Government of India perspective, but you can change it a bit, keeping the main parameters constant. There will be a session how to fill this in various scenarios by my team, maybe on Wednesday or sometime. But this is the card that will be available to every citizen, which will absorb registration deeds, property taxation data, land record data, and all the other data sets, and produce this document, which is the valid piece of truth with the building. Right side, if you're interested, that is the sketch line map. Then you have the actual ORI sheet, overview map. Then you have the building picture, and then a QR code. So this is all going to be on the online actually. So we have completed a lot of training program. I don't have the time to repeat them, but yes, master trainer training program is completed. We are also completing center of excellence. We want to start doing state level training program in all the cities and all the ATIs in the country very quickly. We'll have a separate discussion with center of excellences next week, maybe next year. These are the 5 center of excellence. You are located at 4 of them. Masuri is starting a bit, but the states are divided among the center of excellence right now. Next. So we also have milestone-wise incentive to your states. Secretary of Finances are extremely happy people. 5,000 crore. The program is only 200 crores, but the incentive is around 5,000 crores. So तीनों level का incentive है. Map 1 incentive, Map 2 incentive, and Map 3 incentive. And the category of the town is 2 lakh and above, 1 to 2 lakh, and 50,000 to 1 lakh and 50,000 and less. Actually. Itne crore. This amount is in crores. So this is the incentive that is available to the cities. All the cities can get this incentive. So a small town with less than 50,000 population can get 25 crore incentive. A large town can get 80 crore incentive. So that is the incentive that is available that flows to Secretary of Finance. This money can be utilized by Revenue Department or the Settlement Department for their own infrastructure, for their own equipments, etc. So please remember that. I've written that now. Service Settlement and Land Record Department will use this money to the extent possible they can. Next. So this is what I started my presentation with by my extempore submission that property taxation will increase. Almost 3 to 4 times increase is happening in property taxation. Property taxation is becoming scientific, not by some urban officer coming to or a vendor. Some of the cities are driven by vendors. It will lead to better urban planning, better disaster planning. You have the elevation model and surface model and terrain model and LiDAR sensor data. You can do amazing disaster management planning for your cities. Then you can also, the second last is quite critical for me. It would be a game changer. Is change detection would be very important. We don't have baseline maps of the cities. Tomorrow or 5 years later or 1 year later or 6 months later or 10 years later, you take out a satellite imagery or fly the drone again. Flying drone is extremely cheap. You will get to know at click of a button how many buildings have increased in size, in surface area, in floors, and how many new buildings have come up. So change detection will be extremely critical. Next. So this list is available. I think they have now inserted mobile numbers also. This list will be shared with all of you. This is the group directors list 19 actually. So this was a launch workshop that happened on 18th of February 2025. We launched the program in September, end September, but we have taken 2-3 months to galvanize the resources and understand technology. This was launched across 152 cities. Most of them had that launch at the same time or a bit later, but it was launched in all the cities in the country apart from the national launch. This is a glimpse of the training program that we did at NIGST Hyderabad, thanks to our partner. And we had 4 training programs. 160 people are already trained across the country at an average of 4 people, 4 important officers per state. Next. So that's all. Thank you for your attention. I think I finished just before time. We also have a meeting at 11:30, so we need to. I kept pace with the time. I can't take. I hope I could have had the time to take questions because if I unmute, the questions may travel beyond 11:30, and a meeting starts here in this hall at 11:25. So all the questions, don't ask me. Ask the faculty person. They know the answers. I don't know the answers. I learn from them. So thanks to the Center of Excellence for organizing this. Logistics are extremely difficult from a training perspective. It is extremely difficult to get the participants, the right resource person, the right schedule, and operate that well. And it's extremely difficult. So thanks to all my friends and colleagues in the Center of Excellence. all the Survey of India officers, the MPSCDC officers, and my own PMU here in Delhi. And I particularly am thankful to all the 124 participants of the training program who are with us for 7 days. We'll get back to you on Saturday and talk to you how they found the training program. It's impossible for us, a small team here, to travel to all the center of excellence, but because we have to operate the training program also and make sure the NAKSHA progresses rightly. But thanks for taking out time, being with us for 7 days. And I have only one thing to say, that the success of this program will depend on all 24 of you, because if you understand this program and ask all the questions and go back more educated and being convinced about the NAKSHA program and the technology and the importance that it will have in future urbanization of this country, I think NAKSHA program will succeed. It's important to do this program. So thank you to all the participants. Thanks to all the Center of Excellence. Thank you so much.